welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and I'm here with the Leo April 2022 horoscope. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so it's a very big month in April. We have a lot of things happening, and we have things happening with Jupiter, Neptune and Pluto, which are really lovely, okay, really beautiful things. So I will go into this when we come to doing your horoscope in depth. The other thing to know is that there is a solar eclipse. It's a partial solar eclipse on the 30th of the month. It's a weird thing though, because due to time differences, in certain areas of the world, in a particular area on the west side of the US, we have a different sort of thing happening there. I'll talk about that in a moment. But it's an exciting month because there's the possibility of some real compassion and love surging forward, especially on the spiritual planes. Okay, so I'll just briefly explain. I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for you. I'll have a look at your horoscope in depth. I won't do the psychic channeling because I'm trying to keep these videos under 20 minutes and they're getting bigger than Ben-Hur lately. I don't know if you've noticed that. So I'll skip that and see how we go. All right, let's go to the board now. If you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell. All right, so I'm going to draw the cards first. I have to be a bit careful. So the first card is the first half of the month, and the second card, the second half of the month. All right. Closing my eyes, what do I see for everybody walking? Okay, actually I'm seeing somebody, it's like not on crutches, but you know at the hospital they have this sort of railings on either side. It's like this person hasn't been able to walk and now they can walk slowly. So it's rehabilitation. I suspect this is mostly to do on the spiritual level, that you may have felt stuck or in somehow sort of delayed. But now you're up and moving again under your own power and getting stronger and stronger spiritually. The card that comes up is the Hermit card. It's a great time to spend some time alone to really focus on your dreams, focus on meditating, relaxing, just being. Don't put yourself under stress this month, dear Leos, because you still have a lot of things that you need to do on a spiritual level before they become physical. If you can spend some time on your own, looking at your feelings and not trying to push yourself in the outside world, you'll find eventually you're going to be super successful in the outside world because you've given yourself this time. Okay, there's also a wolf here. That's about learning. Perhaps later on you want to teach, but the light is in your hands and you can be the light of the world if you go within and spend some time, quality time on yourself. All right, the second half of the month for you lovely Leo, let's have a look at that. I'll close my eyes now. I've already pre-shuffled these cards before. If you're thinking I'm not very vigorous, yes, I have shuffled them up. Okay, closing my eyes now for Leo in April. What else do I see? I see a hill. It's sort of dark. It's like there's a direction to take in life, but you're not sure. The hill is, it's not overly steep. It's manageable. There's somebody here on the side. It's a bit like an angel, but I can't see clearly. But they're pointing and they're pointing towards the hill. So there's some sort of challenge. You have to go alone. You can't go with anybody else. This is your journey. And it's almost like a feeling of isolation, and it's something that you must do and nobody can do it for you. But that's okay. You'll be fine. The angels are looking out for you. Here we have the Hierophant. This is all about knowledge. Okay, so we've got knowledge in this card and knowledge here. We've also got a lot happening here in your 9th house, which is about broadening your horizons, and it is also associated with study as well. So it seems to me that you have a lot of knowledge, and now what is very necessary is you need the wisdom to be able to put that knowledge into manifestation. Okay, so instead of sitting on the knowledge that you have, because we all learn stuff and then we wait and see what we're supposed to do with it, we need wisdom to know how to apply the knowledge. Okay, and then action has to be taken. See, she's dressed in red there. So you could be really seriously considering a course, even if it's just a fun course, you know, learn how to sew or knit or something, learn how to do permaculture. It doesn't mean that it's a great big heavy thing, you know, you're going to go to university and become a lawyer or a doctor, for example. But you have two major arcana here. That is a very significant time for you. Okay. All right. Now let's have a look at your horoscope here. Now, I wanted to talk about, firstly, Jupiter conjuncting Neptune in Pisces here. And this is something that doesn't happen that often. Jupiter and Neptune get together every 13 years or so, but only in Pisces every 150 years or so. So it's quite special. And for you, where are we? Jupiter's here in your 8th house of shared resources and intimacy. This is also the house of death. It can be inheritances or other things to do with funerals, perhaps, or, you know, maybe something to do with intimacy with another person as well. But these two here, Neptune and Jupiter, very close together, 23 Pisces and 21 degrees Pisces. And Jupiter is catching up to Neptune, so Jupiter's actually going to, what would you say, sail across Neptune, okay, go over the top of Neptune. It will get even stronger this month, this effect, but I will talk more about that in a moment. The other really beneficial thing that's happening is Jupiter sextiling Pluto. I'll talk about that in a moment as well. Powerful forces are working behind the scenes to transform your life. That's the important thing to notice. Okay, right, your ruler sun is in the 9th and 10th house. So this month is all about broadening your life, but you may need to do some self-reflection before you do that. And then it goes into your career. What you learn this month will then form the basis of what your general life direction is and perhaps your career. Alrighty, let's have a look in depth. Now, on the 31st of March or perhaps the 1st of April, depending where you are, the new moon in your 9th house will join Mercury, Sun and Chiron. Okay, so here's the new moon here, and basically it will be on the 1st of April. It will be east of Salt Lake City and the majority of the world. But if you're west of Salt Lake City, then it's going to be the 31st of March. Okay, this gives a strong desire for some sort of mini vacation or a break, a getaway from what your current life is. You're likely to put some things into perspective, get an overview of your life, and just do some sort of review on where you want your life to go. Okay, but whichever way it is, it's about broadening your horizons, growing your life. Maybe that's through travel, spirituality, philosophy, or even study. From the 4th of April to the 2nd of May, Venus goes into your 8th house here, where financial and business affairs are quite favoured here. You could meet some sort of benefactor who helps you through friends or in a social atmosphere. And you could get financial backing or support you need to succeed. You might be successful in some sort of claim. And on a personal level, if you have a partner, then intimate relationships are likely to get much stronger. Either you or your partner wants a deeper union. Okay, Venus brings love and smooth flowing energy to anything to do with intimacy, sharing joint resources, or inheritances, superannuation, or loans, for example. From the 6th to the 15th of April, Jupiter conjuncts Neptune, now I talked about before. But basically, it's like your mind wanders off to faraway places, and your imagination is really strengthened now. You could be thinking of the exotic, the mystical, or the fantastic. If you're bored with your daily routine, it's now time to shake things up. You might be looking at vacation and travel, as I mentioned, and you might be feeling more spiritual than usual. It is a great time to attend spiritual functions and festivals, or groups, perhaps workshops, that sort of thing, and read spiritual books, and just allow your mind and your imagination to open up. Okay, 10th of April to the 29th of April, Mercury moves into your 10th house, okay, from the 9th into the 10th here. And if you're doing a job that you don't really believe in, you might find yourself thinking a lot about changing jobs, or perhaps there's a lot of communication about your current job with a view to changing it in some way, changing some details. You could be looking at career planning strategies. How do you make your dreams into realities? And you might share this with a few significant people. It's a great time to communicate with other people who are in a position to help you some way. From the 13th to the 24th, Mars moves into your 8th house here, bringing a lot of energy and ambition around these joint resources, intimacy, or something that you hold in common with another, whether that be a loan or maybe funeral affairs, inheritances, superannuation, that sort of thing. Don't be too impulsive. This is going to give you a lot of energy and ambition to get ahead on these matters, to really make some headway. But it's important that you don't push it too much, because these things have a way of going their own course, and so you can't force matters. There could be some arguments with a business partner, and your passions generally are stirred up now. If you do have a partner, then this could be exciting for your sex life, or emotionally, perhaps intimacy gets stronger between you. The 16th of April sees a full moon in your 4th house of home and family here. There could be some turbulence, but it's important that you spend some time at home and take care of your family if you have a family. And security becomes more important to you, and also your home. So it's a great time to replenish yourself, and you might find that your general domestic matters and family matters are more important than usual now. From the 18th to the 20th of May, the Sun moves into your 10th house. This brings a lot of insight around your direction in life and your career, and it's the type of career that makes your heart sing, and you're likely to be able to make significant gains now in these areas. You're likely to receive recognition for your efforts, and especially if you've done your homework about something, it's like it's going to pay off for you in some way. It's a great time to ask for a promotion or engage the support of other people in higher authority. From the 28th of April to the 22nd of May, Mercury moves into your 11th house here, and so that goes to there, and that arrow should go to there, but I've done like that, which is wrong. Should have gone around like that. And it's a time where there's a lot of discussions to do with organisations, community groups, your friends and connections generally. There's a lot of planning and strategising about something, and socialising is more important. Your community seems to become more important to you now. The 30th of April sees a new moon partial solar eclipse, and it's also a black moon in most of the world and west of Salt Lake City in your 10th house here. I've put it just where I could squash it in. Okay, this brings new beginnings around your career. You might find if you're in a job that you actually enjoy doing, or you're getting a lot from, or there's some sort of self-fulfillment there, there's some sort of change in procedure, or something happens that's very significant, and I guess it's a sort of flag to you that you're on the right track. It's like an indicator that you're on the right track. And it's also a time where things become more public. You're working more with the general public than usual. The only thing is, do be aware that because your life is becoming more public, it's a public chart, that sharing online can be problematic because the public will see more of you whether you want them to or not. The 30th of April to the 3rd of May sees Mars sextiling Uranus. This is pretty exciting, actually, and it's time to do something new and out of the ordinary. You might find in sports, you go up, if you're playing team sports, you go up a grade or something like that, and you might have a lot of sort of seemingly crazy ideas to brainstorm, but some of them could work out. So just get them all down on paper and discuss with other people. But there could be some really positive surprises come during this time. The 27th of April to the 7th of May sees Jupiter sextiling Pluto, which is fabulous for cooperation with businesses, government agencies, and influential people, people in authority. It's like people want to help you, even if they ignored you before. So, dear Leo, if you're in Australia, you might have had something to do with Centrelink in the past and they ignored you or they weren't helpful, and now all of a sudden they're helpful. I'm thinking of the people in particular. I'm thinking of the people that are asking for flood compensation and that sort of thing. You might find it comes through finally, even if you've been waiting a long time. Or even the bushfires. There's still people suffering from the bushfires 2 years ago, and that's not all sort of done and dusted, and they're still going on. People haven't been able to move back into their homes and things like that. But the other thing could happen is that you get called to a leadership role, or you get called to speak up in some way, and it's likely that you'll be very successful in this. All right, I'll just put that on Zoom in case you want to note anything down. It's a very significant month. Don't get too sort of carried away with things, because you need to take some time out, especially the beginning of the month. And there's a lot to think about. There's like a major change. Your MC up here in the 9th house, there's like major changes in direction, so that your life suddenly gets bigger and broader than ever before. Oh, I do seem to be stuck. I don't know, that happens sometimes. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm thinking that this month is going to be eye-opening for you in a very positive way, dear Leos. If you are new, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell right now. I just want to wish everyone a wonderful month, and don't forget to spend time alone, because it's going to pay you dividends in leaps and bounds. Okay, thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.